broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Why, hello, all you Days Dooligans. Welcome to another AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full recap of this past week of your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by the person with the most hair that I've ever known.
Mark J. Freeman here.
And it's just us two today. Big shout out to Peter, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, but we're going to give him a quick shout
James.
out. Or James. Hi, James. Hi, Peter. James is in our chat room,
yep.
So if you want to chat with the super organizer, then make sure you chat with him. Also, a big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for adding us on Facebook, which we had a little snifo. Facebook said that there's no one named DISHIN Days, so we had to change our Facebook name to Tony Mark Peter. So if you want to add us on Facebook, look for Tony Mark Peter and add us. We're still giving away a bunch of stuff. We're still, messaging you guys, so make sure you do that. And also thank you for sharing our video. Make sure this week, though, I'm gonna up that up. Make sure you share our video so that way we can get not 2,000 views, but 3,000.
Yeah.
So we want 3,000 views. We want to keep upping up the views as much as possible. All right, Mark J. Freeman, we got a lot to do and a lot to talk about, so it's time to start DISHIN Days. And then we don't pay attention to it. All right, so let's kick things off with our most confusing couple of Salem, Sonny and Will.
Yeah.
Okay, so did your jaw drop when Will was like, I also hooked up with someone else in L.A.?
No, I knew it.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh,
I knew it.
You
I knew
slut.
I knew it. We did hear the word slut a couple of times.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I was thoroughly surprised because I thought something happened in LA, but I thought it was like typical days where they were like, nope, didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe he was just shaken up by, he thought that things were going to happen for him as a writer and all that. But then when he was like, it happened before, and I was like, oh.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and watch our past episodes because I feel like I said something like, I think he hooks up in LA. I have to go back. I'm gonna go back and watch former episodes.
Well, DISHIN Days fans, if you know if Mark J. Freeman was playing,
right.
if he was right and playing Celeste and predicted that Will hooked up in LA, then let us know.
Playing Celeste.
So I was very surprised about that. But here's the frustrating thing is that, like, Sonny and Will cannot get it together. It's like...
Well, and I agree. And then I also, like, this whole thing at the end, like, thing was on Friday when now Sonny's taking responsibility.
Yes.
Which I have to say as well... that the whole thing that Paul and Sonny talked about him being the first guy and all of that.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Why does it sound like you're yelling? I agree with that.
Like, to just come out and then be with the one person you've ever... I'm not saying it's not possible. All the gays are going to hate me that are with the same person they've been with their whole life.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as someone who came out, it's like, you got to sow your oats, you got to go have your fun.
Yeah.
I think that's in general, not necessarily.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that you can't marry your high school sweetheart and be happy for the rest of your life. Not saying that. Just unlikely. But I agree with that, but I don't like that Sonny is now, like... I hate that they're taking all this off of Will again.
Yes, because here's the point of the matter is Will cheated not once but twice. Mm-hmm. And it's not to excuse that fact. If he felt like he wasn't ready to marry Sonny, then he could have said, you know what, like, I think things are just going a little too fast for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we were all in love with them just as they were supposedly in love with each other. Mm-hmm. And yeah, couples have their rough parts, but like, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
and at this point, Will, who else was going to be your friend and boyfriend? Because according to Salem, there's no other gay folks except for Paul, Will, and Sonny.
And Derek now.
And Derek.
Who's back?
Shirtless. But he only had that little blurb on Monday.
Yeah.
That was
but
stupid.
We'll be seeing more of him, I think.
I hope so. I
just
hope we do.
My first thought, too, was that they were going to... But Derek has seen Will, correct? He let him into the room and stuff a couple times, didn't he?
Yes, Derek was the one that spilled the beans that Will and him were together.
I was just trying to think if they were going to make Derek be the guy from LA, but there's no way to do that.
No. There's no way to do that. But I do. I kind of
so
started.
There could be a fifth on the horizon.
A fifth gay. Mm-hmm. Like the guy from LA comes back.
Maybe if you couldn't be Maxine's son.
Listen. If Will wanted to dip in some chocolate, then by all means. If that's what will get me onto the show.
Were you the guy in LA? He's like Tony Moore. Tony. We're getting it real here at Dishin Days.
Yes. So, yes, masking.
Ken Corday has nothing on us here.
The plan to save Days is to put on Maxine's son and to make him Will's LA lover.
LA lover. I'm down with that.
But I didn't like that. Sonny, first of all, Paul came up with the whole thing of well, think about it, Sonny. When I first came out, so I bet Will is going through this. And I was like, no, guys, no. Let's let Will take responsibility for what he's doing. He's lying. He's not being truthful. He is conniving and being manipulative. Mm-hmm. And instead of just saying, listen, I messed up and I really want to work on the marriage. And it actually posed a question of, did he really why does he want to save this marriage? Why is he doing everything to save this marriage when clearly you need time to go sow your royal oats?
Yeah, I say let him go. And I love that Sonny was like, yeah, I think we should see a marriage counselor. And you should see one too by yourself.
Exactly. Yes, please go off and voyage off and see one by yourself.
If you want to recommend him to your mother, you might want to do that as well.
Listen, there's no help for Sammy. Sammy's at an age now where she's just going to be who she is.
She is who she is, yeah.
But at this point now, and I wonder if you fans agree, I'm sorry, Sonny and Will just need to part ways. Yeah.
Oh, we're finishing each other's sentences.
At this point, I mean, I don't think there's anything that would make us feel like they need to be together. Mm-mm. I kind of started rooting for Paul and Derek during their brief interaction, only because I was like, oh, it'll be a fresh start. There's no baggage.
See, I think it's going to be Will and Derek.
Okay.
Because he's had Paul.
Right.
And clearly
he's had Sonny.
He moves on very quickly.
Yeah.
He's had Sonny. He's had the guy in L.A. Derek's the only one he hasn't had. I think he will be the Daniel Jonas of the gays.
Well, I guess we shall just see about that. And I mean, that's all that pretty much happened this week.
With them. What did everybody here saying about... Derek was the flirtatious gay bellhop that we met. Okay, he's explaining. Well, Mark, no, don't you dare mess with my
here you go.
Oh,
the whole Daquan and Mark.
And they did mention that Mel Monster this week. Oh, Mel Monster. I like that. That might be my new hashtag. Mel Monster.
I love that you wrote it down.
I'm actually going to. I was going to write
hashtag Mel Monster,
so I can tweet Daquan later.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so keeping us moving right along because we want to talk to some fans later.
Also, we had Teresa returning to the Kiriakis mansion with Brady and Tate.
And Victor is not having it.
What was so funny was last week when I was waiting for my quote of the week, I was like, oh, when Teresa shows up at the mansion, I'll get a quote of the week. But she didn't. It happened, at the end of last week, so I was like, So I knew this week I was going to get some good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she showed up and thinks that the nanny is her maid, and it's so, and I'm a big Jen Lilly fan. We've had her here, and she's fantastic, and I was big Teresa. I just think it's so, I don't know, I feel like 1 second it's just too flip-floppy for me, for lack of better words. Like 1 second she's like, I want to be manipulative, but then I want him back. I don't know. It just none of her stuff. The fact that what she did, she honestly thought
that
running Melanie out of town and tricking him and all this stuff is going to make him fall in love with you. It just doesn't seem like it. Just what we were talking about just seemed. I mean, I'm biased to us because I think we have great ideas here at AfterBuzz.
Of course.
But I just think that if she would have just stood back,
Yes.
and they would have let like the whole thing with Melanie just kind of go away and all that, and then she would have been like, okay, I don't know how to be a mom.
Yeah.
It would have been so much more believable that
Yeah.
he's like, oh, yeah, okay, well then let's do this together, but whatever.
Yeah.
It just feels so.
Well, I felt like that going back to when they brought Melanie back and put Melanie and Brady
Right.
together and then took her away, and then having Teresa be like, I'm going to say this to really drive her away, which didn't make sense.
Didn't make sense at all.
But now I kind of feel like, Teresa, yes, you still have to work because you have a job. You
Yeah.
can't just abandon your job. Yeah, you may need to take some time off just to bond with your kid, but you can't abandon your job. Also, you're not living in the lap of luxury. You're lucky that you have this baby so that you can live in the
yeah.
mansion.
Right.
And I almost wanted them to make her like, I really don't know how to be a mom. Like, oh my God, kind of more grateful. Like, thank you for letting me
exactly.
while I just wrap my head around and like figure things out.
Well, and
then that would make Brady go, oh wow, like she's like really trying.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing a whole different side of her.
it would be more believable for him to stick up for her with Victor. It just everything would just be all that more believable.
Yes.
And then the other thing I was going to say about her is that like the whole thing with her and Eve at the hospital when she's helping Eve and all this stuff. See, this is what I don't get. It's like 1 second she's manipulative and she's scheming and this and that, but then Eve asks her to steal keys and look at Marlena's schedule, and it's an ordeal.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I did this for you. And I'm like, you hit somebody in the head with a
fire poker.
You've done all these horrible things, and that's going to get you in trouble, and that's what you're worried about?
Well, I think it's more so of a selfish thing because Eve
that's
is
true.
really all about what can you do for me instead of being like, are you okay? Like, how's Tate? Like, how's this? You would almost think that instead of Anne and Teresa, it would be Eve and Teresa.
How long have I been saying that?
I don't know, DISHIN Days fans. Let's look back at past episodes and find out.
I keep saying that. I don't know why Anne is there, and I get it. She's a great act. Everyone loves her. She's funny. She's cute. Whatever. I'm so much more entertained with watching Eve and Teresa together.
Yeah.
I think that's the dynamic duo that it should be, not Anne.
Yeah.
Anne and the pointy finger thing is getting old.
Yeah.
Twice. It's funny. After that, it's just getting old, and just the pointing and I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You've worked the joke.
Yeah.
I got it.
And I love Meredith Scott Lynn, who plays
too.
Anne.
I think she's great.
But again, I just feel like they don't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
And it's like,
so they just keep having her have conversations with Teresa, which she could be having with Eric. She could be having with Eve. There's plenty of other people. Bring Shane and Kim back. She can have conversations with her parents.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Teresa feeling so entitled now that she's in the mansion, being like, oh, yeah, you can unpack my bags. And, oh, will you let them know that I'm hungry? I haven't eaten. It's like, no. Like, how many people have to make it clear? Victor has made it clear that you're not welcome here, but Tate is.
Yeah.
Maggie. If Maggie said something, then
what did I write? I said, Maggie's getting more sassy being married to Victor.
Yeah. Maggie's like, let's make something clear here.
Yeah.
Tate's welcome.
Yeah. Brady's,
We don't like you.
Yeah.
We're tolerating you because of Tate.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Have yourself a good night. And just know that you still need to do all your stuff.
Yeah.
The nanny is here for Tate, not for you.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Teresa. Like, you're smarter than that. But then again, I know this is the same girl who went with Clint after just seeing a diamond bracelet and saying that he won the lottery.
Right. Well, I said, I feel like it keeps, I just feel like with so many of the characters right now, and again, I get this, the writing's changing. I'm probably not going to have any of this to talk about in a couple months. What will I complain about? I'm sure I'll find something, Daquan, don't worry.
Yes.
But it's just like, I feel like that's the thing with everybody. It's like 1 second they want them to be this, but then they're doing this, and then they're doing that, and it's so wishy-washy. Everything's like and Daniel, like a complete 180 again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't deal with this.
It's
pick a side and ride the wave.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Brady and Teresa. Brady is very hell-bent on making sure she sticks to that contract that she signed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Erin says she thinks Teresa's bipolar.
Probably.
And that would make a lot of sense.
So let's move it right along to Eve and Jennifer. I don't know what Eve has planned with this whole, like, getting Laura Horton's medical records. And why does Jennifer always run into Eve when she's in Marlena's office? Like, I don't get that. Why hasn't Marlena picked up that Eve is not really here to, like, get help? There's something else going on. I mean, Marlena, you've been in Salem for how many decades? Mm-hmm. You've run the mill with how many people? At what point does someone say, listen, honey, I've been here, done that. Yeah. Which file do you need? Because I can't give it to you.
Right.
I'm going to walk away and see what plan you have schemed up with in order to get it. And if you got it, more power to you. Like, I want someone to just be like, for once, just be like, I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
Salem PD.
Right.
So, but she gets Laura's folder, runs into Jen. And before that, you know, like you mentioned, she was trying to get the keys from Teresa and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But then now she's at home with a glass of wine and, like, going through Laura's folder. And I'm just like, what have you got planned for Jennifer? I was actually kind of worried.
She said something at the very end, like, all the symptoms from what Laura had can be
can come up just all of a sudden.
Well, and from drugs. So I think she's going to try and, like, start drugging Jennifer so that she's hallucinating and all this stuff and thinking that she's going. Or either if she doesn't do it to Jennifer, she's going to do it to, like, JJ or Abigail. Probably not Abigail because she's pregnant. Oops, spoiler.
Well.
But you know what I mean? I think it's going to be either Jennifer or JJ. I think she's going to do it. I started thinking it's JJ only because he said something about, I'm feeling like I'm going crazy, and she's like, don't say that.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's going to focus it on JJ so that Jennifer thinks it's that JJ's going insane.
Here's the thing. Eve, when Paige finally calms down,
don't even get me started.
Then maybe things will get back to normal. Yeah. But just leave it alone. Like, it is not JJ's fault. It is not Jennifer's fault. It is your fault for what happened. It is not anyone else's fault at how Paige is reacting. Paige needs to grow up, and whatever she's going through, she needs to eat like a large pizza, watch a Sex and the City marathon, eat a gallon of ice cream, and be done with it.
Yeah. And
stop being so angry and just have a conversation with her mom.
Although it's a mistake. We did see her dorm room for the first time.
After she tried to date I don't get the dating thing. I don't get the dating thing. I don't get why she's trying to date, what plan she's trying to do, why she's dating older. It doesn't make sense.
Eyeing Brady or his dad,
and then being like someone like that.
Dad.
But then I'm like, but the guy that was just there was kind of middle ground between them both, and you were like, no, that's not going to work. And Daphne, how dare you try to come up to her and be like, oh, you want to date a man that age? Oh, I'm sorry, no one's dating a 21-year-old with 2 babies.
Yeah,
by 2 different mamas.
No, that whole Paige thing.
I can't.
Stupid Paige inviting guys and then telling them to leave. Like I said, like she'd have a chance with Brady is what I wrote. So I don't know. I don't understand the whole Paige. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I agree with you. I don't. I'm actually interested to see what this. I like Eve, and I love the story. I love that her and Jennifer have the past, and like that there's that. I don't know. I like that. I'm not afraid of this storyline with Laura.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where it's going to go. I just want to be done with Paige and JJ and
get over it, move on.
Paige yet again finding JJ in the woods to go have a conversation with him, even though she never wants to speak to him again.
Right.
Yet again tracks him down and has a conversation with him.
I don't know if tracks him down, but like just suddenly finds him.
Away.
Exactly. just be like, I don't want to talk to you, and just leaves. But once again, she's like angry Paige.
But again, JJ did yell at her and was like, look, and then of course he backed down because that's what they do. But whatever.
Yeah. So we're gonna quickly go into tidbits, because hopefully after news and gossip, if we have some time, we're gonna open our chat line so that you guys can call us in after we go through tidbits and some other segments, and after news and gossip. So some tidbits: Adrian, Justin, and Lucas.
Adrian's got 5. Okay.
Adrian got the divorce. Well, okay, first of all, Justin.
I gotta. Okay.
He just went.
Yeah, I gotta go.
There's nothing. There's nothing that we need to talk about.
And just the whole.
And she's just like, divorce papers, and then she goes like, we do need to talk about this.
And the fact that Justin, honest to God, does he honest to God think that he is a better person because he did his affair
it was in Dubai, and it wasn't in Salem, and like he kept it away from her.
The only thing I will give them credit for is when he says to her, you know, I might have done this, but you're doing this to rub it in my face, and you're doing it in the public. I'll give you that, because that was hers was a little bit more. I guess they didn't really put it in their face because Kate kind of outed them and stuff.
Right.
But I'll kind of I spittled. I'll kind of give him that.
No, I'm not. No,
ridiculousness
no.
I'm better than you because I did my.
I am not going to give him that, because first of all, she was very strong and did not give into Lucas until after everything blew up in her face.
Right,
and then she was just kind of like, well, fine.
Might as well.
You know, and even when they tried to keep it a secret until they figured things out, Kate was like, nobody knows that Adrian and Lucas are together? Anybody? Anybody? No? You didn't know? You didn't know? You didn't know? Well, they're together. And then here they come walking in.
Okay.
So
we need to get Lauren Kozlov.
Yes.
My dream.
I agree. So
I will wear a blue streak in my hair.
But what's been interesting is Adrian's reaction, because she's very upset about this divorce.
Yeah.
And Lucas is kind of like, I'm a little shocked at your response to this divorce. Like, you would think she'd be like, well, fine. Bye.
Yeah.
But let's put it realistically.
Okay.
She's been with Justin for years. Yeah. And even though she's whatevering with Lucas, it's still gonna hurt.
Well, I get that, and I agree. The fact that he left it and walked away, she has every right to be like, okay, no, let's get back here, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I will side with that. It's the whole ridiculousness that Justin keeps saying that his was better than, like, he was behaving better than she was because he did it in Dubai and it wasn't somebody that they knew and blah, blah, like whatever.
No,
it's still cheating.
That makes
sound like Will.
That makes nothing better. That's right, Susie. It's never okay to cheat.
Why am I being called Bad Mark? What did I do?
Well, who knows what
God
you did?
Only knows.
But
Cheryl.
I mean, everyone in Salem cheats, so it's no surprise. Xander and Serena. Okay, first of all, Paul Tefler, bravo. To go from crazy to charming, that takes talent.
See, that's the Xander I loved.
Right.
I loved when he showed up, and that's what we saw. That's what I loved. That's what I wanted to stay. That's what I wanted with Nicole.
Yes.
That cray stuff, I don't got time for.
No. Well, what's also interesting is just how, and I even tweeted this to Paul, I was like, I started feeling like he didn't do it. He was in Chicago. I was like, he didn't do that to Eric and Nicole. Even though I watched it, we sat here and talked about it.
Right.
But he was so good, and he was still intimidating, because even when he walked in and he was like, you remember that, don't you, Serena? Yes. And I'm like, even though he's all smiles and like calm, cool, and collected and not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like, he's still a little intimidating. So bravo to that. Bravo to that elephant.
Don't even get me started on that ridiculous. Okay, even the destruction of that elephant was asinine. To use the word that you love so much.
I love when Mark uses asinine. First of all,
it was completely asinine.
I would have taken it and just chunked it.
Like off camera.
Yeah.
So then you can cut to a broken elephant.
Yes.
Instead of trying to make her break it. And like, you have two. Let's have a rehearsal with one.
Yes.
Like, this isn't rocket science, people. Practice on one, see how you break it.
Yes.
Then you got another one to use.
Well.
No. We're going to make it look ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Well.
That was the most...
Well, Eric said...
I wouldn't have been happy unless they blew it up with dynamite.
And Eric, of course, still doesn't want to talk to Serena.
I have to read from the Soap Opera Digest. Not in the Ken Corday article, but right before, Days got a thumbs up for Victor's decision to appoint nephew Justin as Kate's superior. That whole bit. At the very end, it says, the witty banter and cleverly brewing conflict between Justin and Kate is the perfect antidote to tedious fare-like and... Tedious fare-like... antidote to tedious fare-like the endless elephant statue hunt.
Oh, my God.
I was like...
We're done.
Couldn't have said it better.
And everyone in the chat room kind of agrees about the whole elephant being completely done.
What is Daquan yelling at me now? I can't tell you how much I cheered. I love Serena at that moment.
Oh, my God.
Well, if she would have actually smashed it, that would have been more entertaining.
Well, now I'm wondering because Xander has been let go from jail, and everything seems to check out.
It ended with Nicole seeing him in the hospital.
And Nicole looked a little freaked out.
And he smiled.
Yeah.
Very charming.
Almost kind of like hello, darling.
Are we having coffee later?
Yeah. Like, where you been? I've been calling. What happened? Speaking of them, Eric and Nicole, here's the thing. I do not like Daniel and Nicole.
You're just now realizing that? Or you're just now, cementing it?
I'm cementing it. I'm putting my notoriety on it. I am putting my stamp of approval. I don't like them together. I think it's so forced.
I think it's forced. And the ridiculousness now that Eric and Nicole have to hide from him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
exactly.
No. This is a complete 180.
Yeah.
No, Daniel should be still worried about them.
And Nicole shouldn't be so giving in to him.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, you love me? Oh, perfect. So do I. I've loved you this whole time. And then him being like, I don't think you should be alone. I think you should move in. Really? Because for the past few months, all you've been doing is going back and forth and yelling at her and saying, oh, you still love her. I can't be with you. I can't trust you. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. But I might have lost you, so now everything's changed. I'm like, no, ridiculousness.
And at this point, Nicole, why don't you just say, you know what? In my delirium, Eric and I confessed our feelings for each other, and we almost had sex.
Yeah.
I will move in now. It's like all you're going to do, Nicole, is prove to him that once again, you're still that person that he didn't like before.
Right.
Just have a clear path with him, or take some time and be like, you know what? No, there's been a lot going on. You have not treated me well. I'm fighting my feelings for Eric. I need some time to myself, Nicole.
Yep. I don't know. I have a feeling she's going to say no, though, because she never actually said yes. She just kept saying, I love you. She never actually said yes, so I think that's going to be an issue.
Well, we'll see.
I'll save that for predictions, even though I just predicted it.
Yeah. So, really quick, Chad and Abby.
Chabby. I have to say, I mean, I love me some Bella Flayan. I just his explanation to Stefano, I'm doing this to protect her from you because look at how what you did to Sammy because she had to. That just broke my heart. I was like, oh, he's just doing it for Abby. You're like, I'm not buying it for once. See, it's my fantasy world with me.
Because you suddenly pictured yourself as Abigail. That's what it was.
And thank you for replaying the love scenes, Dave.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Here's what
Ken Corday, since you listen to the fans, keep playing it on a loop.
Here's how I feel. Ben, please tell Abigail that you know that she slept with Chad.
He's told everybody else.
Yeah. Well, he told Clyde this week.
Yeah.
And then I hate when they bring Theo in to bring Abby and Chad
ridiculous.
together. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And he lost his mind. You have to come to the lake. It's going to be so much fun. Please. When I played Theo.
That was your audition. That was his audition.
That was me. When they saw us Theo and they asked me to play Theo, I just want to make sure I keep that in. But I love it. What is this in sync?
I know. We're on it today.
But I just feel like, he's already basically looked at her and was like, I used you, you slut. Yeah. And I've gotten back to you, and I'm done. Go be with your dumb hillbilly boyfriend, Ben.
You can tell that he is doing it and still loves her. It's not nasty. You can totally see it. He's so good. I'm sorry. He's the best. I gotta tweet him later.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, and then
Tomorrow is Man Crush Monday, so I got to make sure.
You got a man crushing? Well, we'll talk about predictions when it comes to, even though you already kind of released that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but we'll get further into that. And then to close out tidbits, Clyde visits Stefano and puts a bug in his house.
And then we hear. I'm sorry, I have to mention this. When he sent me the lineup, I was like, wait, we got to add one more thing to tidbits. We got to get Stefano's recipe for bolognese in there. That ridiculous. I love that you didn't even hear it. I was I literally had to rewind it and listen to it again. I was like, did he just say, make sure the chef uses my recipe for the bolognese?
Oh my gosh.
I almost peed myself. I was like, that is some ridiculousness. Only other thing I'm going to say about Clyde, I think I wrote this down at some point. Just the whole thing with Clyde, like, I get what they're trying to do with him. I just don't see Clyde like I see Victor and Stefano.
Not at all.
He just doesn't have that.
He doesn't exoot that powerful.
No, he
and
talks it.
I believe I said that a few shows ago.
Let's rewind. Let's go check it out. I'm going through my old episodes to see what I said. I'm surprised.
But yeah, no, he doesn't exude that powerful like presence that Stefano and Victor has.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be.
And I get that they're trying to do that, but I'm not falling for it.
No.
We have never seen anything that he's leaving the show yet, have we?
Nope.
So he's still there.
Fatooting around.
Okay,
we'll see. All right, so now is our favorite part of the show where we give you guys our segments, and we're going to start with mine and who won the 3 Snaps Award for this week. Now, I'm going to apologize for Mark and Peter for not posting theirs from last week.
I have an excuse, though.
We'll see
get to that in a moment.
But for this week, I have decided to give my 3 Snaps Award. No. We're going to take a moment of silence for a prop that is no longer with us. One that we have talked about for many, many months. One that we've seeked out. One that we were looking for. One that we were hoping to find. And all wondering, what is in that elephant? So my 3 Snaps Award goes to The Destruction of the Elephant, Kinda, by Serena. There we go.
That's it. All right.
Yeah, that's it. That was the build-up. I had to give it listen, R.I.P. to the elephant, but Serena gets my 3 Snaps Award for finally destroying it.
Well, I'm going to keep saying it. Her attempt at destroying it, because it really wasn't really done well.
Now we're going to get to our favorite part.
Me or
Mark's
doing
quote.
the video? Don't we have a video?
It's Mark's quote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my quote. Now the reason I didn't post is because we had all the Facebook issues, and the day that I was going to do it was the day that they had kind of taken it away. So and then I got busy. So I will try and still put that up there for last week. Because it was a new person that I'd never given a quote of the week to, so I need to make sure I do that.
Yes.
But this week, my quote goes to Daquan. Are you listening? It's another redhead. Miss Maggie. Miss Maggie in all of her diva-liciousness now that she's married to Victor and becoming I'm kind of liking her.
Yeah.
Becoming more diva-like. So my quote is when she's speaking to Teresa. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I'll have to tell Henderson that we won't be needing these fireplace tools anymore. Because the whole time I kept thinking, someone has to mention those fuckers. And then John actually mentions it too. He says something about the fireplace. He's like, make sure you hide the fireplace.
And Brady was like, I think Maggie's already done that.
Yeah, exactly. So Maggie, Susan Rogers gets and I'll make sure, I think she's on Twitter, so I'm gonna tweet her
that
congratulations. She gets Mark's quote of the week. I don't know if that'll mean anything at all to her, but I'm still gonna tell her.
And as you guys know, Days of Our Lives is celebrating their 50th year this year, and so we'd like to take you back to some wonderful moments in Days history with hashtag Those Were the Days. And this is our 4th of July edition, brought to you via video by the one and only Mr. James Law Jr. Roll that beautiful footage, please.
Beautiful bean footage.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Dishin Days, folks. It's me, James Law Jr., and I'm sorry I cannot be there. But since I can't, I'm sending you, in my place, a special 4th of July edition of Those Were the Days. So, 32 years ago, in 1983, I hope my math is correct, there was a 4th of July with the Hortons and the Bradys and their friends. And a significant thing happened at that particular 4th of July in 1983. Bo and Hope had their first kiss. Hope was a cute little fresh-faced 18-year-old, and Bo was this kind of ex-merchant marine who had long hair, and they'd been circling each other, but it had finally happened at that 4th of July. So funny. 2 other notable things happened too. One, Renee Jones, who later went on to Lexi Carver fame, was playing a whole different character back then, Nikki Wade. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And she was actually also dating Abe. Kind of weird. It's like weird seeing her in that. I forgot she was 2 different roles. And then also, anytime you hear anyone call Sammy Samantha Jean, the reasoning is her middle name comes from the best friend of Roman and Marlena. And this guy was particularly, through the whole scene of this episode, his name is Eugene. So I don't know if anybody remembers Eugene and Calliope. They were kind of off-kilter and wacky and nerdy. And so Samantha, of course, comes from Marlena's twin sister, and then Jean comes from Eugene. So those are the 3 things that happened on 4th of July back in 1983. Sammy got her middle name, of course. Lexi Carver wasn't there. It was Nikki Wade, both played by the same actress. And Bo and Hope had their first kiss, which changed the course of super couple history, of course. So those were the days, and I'll see you guys all in the interwebs.
Thank you so much, Mr. James Law Jr., for our 4th of July edition of hashtag Those Were the Days. And now let's go into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so the rumor mill has been swirling with more exits from Days of Our Lives. So these are the 3 people who seem to be making their exits. We have True O'Brien that plays Paige, Sean Christian, who plays Dr. Daniel Jonas, and Daniel Cosgrove, who plays Aiden. So these are the 3 that apparently may not make it at some point in time.
Daniel's still more rumor.
Yes, like from what we hear, Sean Christian has reached a point that he may want to leave. So it's being speculated that he might be leaving. Daniel Cosgrove may be out because of the return of Peter Reckel, and then
he said something at a fan event too.
Yes,
which implied that he was
leaving. And True O'Brien has just been reported that she's the latest to leave.
Go.
Yeah, maybe she will leave angrily.
My money is on that. Yes, 100%.
Well, speaking of exits, there are some.
I have to leave?
No.
Oh, they're going to say now.
There are some people who are being brought on to Days.
Yes.
We have Sal Stowers, who was ex-Cassandra on All My Children, will be joining Days and will make her debut in September. And that's her. She was actually
Do we know who she's playing?
No, there's no report of who she's playing, but apparently she's going to be a new character.
Oh. Okay.
And she makes her debut in September. So
she looks young.
She does.
So is she going to be in this maybe teen storyline?
Maybe she's going to be Theo's new love interest or something.
Or Joey.
Joey's love interest. Ooh,
Joey Johnson.
Little interracial couple there. Yeah. But she was a contestant on America's Next Top Model, and I believe she was the winner.
What's her name?
It's Sal Stowers, but I feel like she went by a different name in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see her debut in September.
I haven't seen all of the top models, but I've seen some.
Yeah. And also for you Days fans, as you know, we have been celebrating Days' 50th anniversary, and we've been doing our Spotlight on interviews right here at AfterBuzz TV, where we revisit past cast members and find out what they've been up to since they left Salem. And on this Tuesday, we have the pleasure of chatting with Chrishell Stous, who played Jordan Ridgway. So she will be here live in our studio on Tuesday, July 7th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you look on our Facebook page, tweet us for the link, so that way you can join in and we can find out what she's been up to since she left Salem.
I won't be there. James is going to join you.
James, yes. Yeah. James is going to join me. So
it's a busy work day for me.
I mean, listen, when you're a part of the Kate and Tori working gals, then things like that happen.
It happens.
And of course, you guys know that we have had many other Spotlight on interviews, so make sure you check out our Facebook page, Tony Mark Peter, and we'll post those previous interviews. We've had Blake Bears, who played Nick Fallon, Matthew Ashford, Rachel Melvin, who played Chelsea, Bryn Foster, who played Quinn,
Blake Barris.
Yeah, I mentioned him.
Oh, did you say that? I was writing Matthew Ashford down.
Of course you were
distracted.
So make sure you tune into our Facebook page for that. Now, A couple of weeks ago, we gave away 2 tickets to the Let's Hear It for the Boys event that happened in Tampa, Florida. And congratulations to Christian and Randall who attended the event. And we actually have some pictures from the event. Yes. So here is Christian with Brian DiTillo, Casey Moss, and Christopher Sean. And then in our next photo, I believe we have Randall, who took a photo with them as well. We can go to the next photo.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
So that's them. And then the final photo is a group shot of all of them. Look at them. Look how fun that was. I heard that they had a great time. Paul and Keith, the organizers of Starstruck Fan Events, said that it was a very fun event. So
yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, so make sure you guys tune in to StarstruckFanEvents.com, also on Facebook, and find out about their event happening in September. Looks like it's going to be a family fair with Drake Hogeston, who plays John, Eric Martzoff, who plays Brady, Christopher Sean, who plays Paul, and they just added Hira, who plays Tori.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So make sure you guys check that out.
And thank you to Susie Morales Smidley for sending me the photos to use today.
Thank you once again to Paul and Keith for giving us those tickets. Now, a huge announcement for all of you Los Angeles Days of Our Lives fans. There is a fan event coming to Long Beach, California, July 31st and August 2nd through Dual Coast Events. And throughout the entire weekend, there are all these different events that will feature many of your favorite Days of Our Lives stars. So far, we have Christopher Sean, Jen Lilly, Billy Flynn.
You notice his picture's closest to me on this montage. It was meant to be.
Eric Martzoff, Kate Mancy, Galen Gehring, a lot of Jason Cook, Daniel Cosgrove, a lot of people will be there. And I just spoke to Stacy, who is the organizer of this event. And we here at DISHIN Days will be giving away 2 tickets to each of their events that are happening on Friday night and Saturday. So stay tuned to DISHIN Days for you Los Angeles Days of Our Lives fans.
And you left something out about that.
For your chance to win.
Who else might be there?
Well, you may see an appearance from some of your favorite hosts here at DISHIN Days. Myself, Mark, James, and
Billy
Peter.
Flynn, and you'll see me following.
Just following him around.
They're gonna call security.
Exactly. So,
like, get him away from me.
You guys, make sure you visit dualcoastevents.com to find out more information about their Long Beach, California event. And please, please, please make sure you share this event in all of the fan pages so that more of you guys can attend these events. They are a lot of fun. Trust me, I've hosted many of them and attended a lot of them. And it is a very, like, in your face, you get to shake hands with them and talk to them type of event.
I went to one a long time ago, like when I first moved out here at Universal. They had a fan event. Yeah. And I went with a good friend of mine, Glenn, and met Deidre Hall and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So, and there's so many different events happening that weekend and they're all happening at the Westin in Long Beach. So make sure you guys check it out, dualcoastevents.com. Now let's go on to the biggest news, and we are now going to open up the chat line so that you guys can chat with us. I believe they've put it into the chat room, but if you guys don't know the number, it's 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. Come in and chat with us because we are now discussing the cover of the latest issue of Soap Opera Digest, where they have the exclusive plan to save Salem. Or days.
Yeah.
So, do we have someone on the lines already?
Ooh, I like the background music.
I know, right? Ooh. So in this article, they talked to Ken Corday and his plan to save days, which he has a lot of plans. And what I liked is that he said himself, he looked at the show and realized he had no idea who these people were. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. I believe we have someone live with us on the phone. Caller, you are on with Mark and Tony of DISHIN Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Mark and Tony. It's Jamel from Brooklyn.
Hey, Jamel. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just love the show. I fell upon your show tonight, and I'm just loving your observations. I would just say one thing. I would call it Days of Our Rooms. You know, yes, you know, they always show people in these rooms. We don't even see the, Marlena's penthouse no more. So,
I know.
You know, we got rooms.
Maybe the new revamped Days
will hopefully bring back Marlena's penthouse.
Well,
please.
And if you've watched our show before, we always talk about the offices, how apparently everyone has the same office, but they move it either to the left or to the right.
But did you? I might have even highlighted it. I went a little crazy with my highlighter.
Yeah, you did.
There was actually something he actually says something about putting more effort into the sets
set and designs.
The direction. Yeah, the production. Oh, here. Primetime television days every day. It's going to be like a primetime version of Days of Our Lives every day, from the lighting to the music to the costumes to the set design to the writing to the acting to the direction to the production. It's just unbelievable.
Well, good.
So I'm hoping that means everybody gets their own office.
Have you read the article? Jamel, it's Jamel, right?
Yeah, Jamel. I didn't read the article. I should have got it, but I did love the cover. I mean, it made me excited because
it is a good
right now
article.
it's the only show on. Yeah, it's the only show on that's actually soapy. You know, everything else is a little too much right now. So I like what they're doing. I think the only observation I had, I love your observations. For me, it's Serena. I think that the Salem PD, they are so inadequate. How are they gonna let this girl who's terrorized go off and the killer could follow her around, and they let the killer go, and she in the room by herself? I said, wait a minute, they did put somebody over there with her with some guns, and that man could turn out the lights in the hotel and just slip up in there like he Houdini or something. I mean, really,
listen,
they just let that.
You saw how he slipped up into Nicole's office and terrorized her and Eric. So, I mean, listen, Salem PD hasn't been right forever. I mean, Stefano's still roaming around.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because they let that. She had all the information. They just sort of treated her like she was a criminal too. I said, oh my God. So that was pretty a bit much. You know what they did with Serena, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But everything else is good. I love Teresa, and I mean, I think that. Yeah, she is. I think somebody said in the chat room yesterday she is a little bipolar. Yes. But she's like the mini Sammy, and anything Sammy-esque is good for me. So, do drama, do scheming. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in, and keep watching us, keep watching Days, and make sure you join us in the chat room. And we always want to hear you guys' thoughts.
Oh,
hello. Oh, is he gone?
Okay, he's gone.
He cut.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. They didn't mean to cut you so fast. Do we have any other callers?
Oh, good.
Okay, go ahead and put him through. Hello, you are on with Tony and Mark of DISHIN Days. What's your name and where are you calling from? Yellow. Oh, Stefano got to him. Stefano said, you may not talk to Mark and Tony, or I shall bear to you.
Oh, it's Clyde.
Right. So what did you think about the article, Mark?
I loved it. I think that we got somebody?
Is there someone on?
Let's do it.
Hello, you're on with DISHIN Days. This is Tony and Mark. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cheryl again.
Oh, hey, Cheryl. We were just saying.
I said if Cheryl is the first one to call again.
I was waiting for somebody else to call.
Oh. Cheryl was like, "Listen, I'm not gonna be the first caller this time, but we love when you call in, Cheryl." So
I just want to say two things.
Go ahead.
First, happy anniversary, Mark and Philip.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Right.
And second, I am so looking forward to these new old writers.
Yeah.
Starting.
Yes.
They're the same people who gave us the Nicole baby switch, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you read the article,
Dina,
right?
not Josh. Dina.
Dina did.
Yeah.
And
No, I haven't. I haven't read the article.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to do a dramatic reading of it right now.
that's what they mentioned in the article was that actually Dina and Josh approached Ken with like this whole storyline, or he heard that they had this wonderful storyline that obviously wasn't implemented.
Yes.
So he had thought about changes a long time ago, and
Here, I'll read it. It says they presented me with what was truly wonderful long-term story, and for reasons not to be disclosed, it was not implemented.
Yeah, so apparently there are going to be a slew of changes happening like in September. So Ken is like, bear with us. until the summer, but September, we got you. What are some of the things that you would like to see change, Cheryl, on the show?
Well, I think they have to give Nicole a baby.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
She deserves a baby. Even if she never gets a man, she deserves a baby.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And I know that so many people are all about Bo and Hope. I am over Bo and Hope.
Ah, thank you.
I don't know for sure that I like Hope and Aiden, but Hope needs a man that's not going to be flighty and take off every time the weather changes to chase some story. Yeah. You know, or some case or whatever.
Like a Jack Devereaux?
Stop it. Don't even take it back.
I think she needs a Rafe.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that they were talking about pairing her up with Rafe.
That would be interesting.
So, I don't know. I just don't...
And I do think that Teresa and Brady need to get back together.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's not the popular opinion.
Well, I think...
Teresa can be redeemed.
Well, Teresa needs to get it together, girlie, so that she can have Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we'll see. Well, thank you, Cheryl, for always calling in and always supporting us.
Well, listen, I waited.
You did.
You're so kind.
I'm just glad you called regardless, whether it's first, second, third, whichever.
And I know you probably can't see the chat room right now, but Daquan's yelling at you because you're not yelling at me.
Oh, I'm supposed to tell you to get off Melanie's back. Go on, leave her alone.
Hashtag Mel Monster.
Is that better, Daquan?
Oh, we are waiting for the day that Daquan calls in.
Hey, listen, I encouraged him to call.
Well, Daquan, if you're listening, you better call in today.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Cheryl.
All right, guys. Love you. Thanks for always being so entertaining.
Thank you. Do we have any more calls coming in from the booth? No? Okay, perfect. So
I can read some of the stuff that I highlighted. Let's see here. Let's go to the you talked about he was presented with storylines before, and then they never got implemented. But so one of the other things I thought, there was so much in here that I was like, wow, he's really like spilling the beans, because he says, and more than anything, the atmosphere of negativity and complacency in the studio was overwhelming. So I mean, he really kind of talks about, he says how people were approaching him, like, what is going on?
Yeah, like and having like one-on-one meetings and everything.
One-on-one, two-on-one meetings where they were like, what is going on with the show? He made a comment that he would turn it on and be like, who are these people? Which is stuff that I've been saying for a long time. I'm just saying. And then I have to talk about it.
Of course you do.
Because my boy Jack got brought up.
Because fans were very upset about Jack being killed off.
He's listening to the fans, so I hope that he really is.
Yes.
And I'm going to get back on my hashtag Bring Jack Back.
Yes.
Because I kind of fell off the boat there for a little bit.
Yes.
But he says that, they're bringing Teo Pangalass back, and he was presumed dead. So he's worried that if he brings Jack back, people are going to say, oh, well, you kill off people all the time, and then you just bring them back so they're not really dead. We're not going to, lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
He did, however, say, so in this case, from September 1st on, when someone dies, they are dead.
They are dead. So but that's September 1st on.
Right. So anything that happened before
then is free game.
And I'm going to tell you, I got it figured out, Ken. So you just give me a call. I got the story figured. I actually had a new idea the other day in the shower. I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. So I got some ideas, and I think they're realistic and they'll be fun. Yes. So if you're looking for another writer,
you guys, please make sure you go and pick up. I think we have a photo of the cover of Soap Opera Digest.
Or you can get a close-up of me.
No, we definitely don't need
and
a close-up
my hair.
of you.
I just put a picture on Twitter too of it.
Perfect. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you go and pick up the latest edition of Soap Opera Digest. It has a fantastic article from Ken Corday about all of the changes that are going to be happening in the upcoming months.
And there's a whole thing about Hope for, I don't know if James saw it or not, but there's like a 2 or 3 page spread about Hope and Days of Our Lives or something.
Oh, because she's been on there for quite some time.
For my friend Glenn, who is obsessed with her. I'm not. So I kind of skimmed through those pages. But those of you that like her.
All right. Well,
I don't dislike her.
I mean, you can't dislike her.
She's not Jack. Or Billy Flynn. Sorry.
No. Oh, boy. The day that Mark meets Billy Flynn,
I can't.
You have to record that. You have to record when you go to the Dual Coast events.
What makes you think I'm not going to meet him before that?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I have like a month.
If it's not before that, you have to record that first interaction so we can play it.
I'm going to, actually, when I go to work next week, the first thing I'm going to tell my boss is, I can't be here August 1st. I have to stalk somebody.
Right. All right, let's quickly go into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so there is a preview out where Abigail is a little sick. Mm-hmm. Some symptoms she's had before. Mm-hmm. And she takes a pregnancy test. Mm-hmm. And apparently she is going to end up preggers. Mm-hmm. How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this, and who do you think the father's going to be?
I think she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. I'm thrilled, and I think it's EJ's.
Because of the whole file thing. I think this. I think she's preggers. She's going to be very Abigail about it because she's going to overanalyze and like, what does she do at this point because she really loves Ben. And it's going to be Chad's. And that's what's going to bring Abby and Chad together.
Well, I think it's going to appear to be Chad because they're brothers, so they have similar DNA. So, well, you know what I mean? Like, it's family.
They share a dad.
But they share something, so it'll appear to be his. And then I think down the road, it's going to come out to be EJ's. I'm predicting, like, beyond the predictors. So, yeah. And I also wanted to say, I saw in the chat room, someone, Mirama? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yeah. She made a comment about who is styling Abigail, and I agree with you 100%. I think I just don't know what they're doing with her. I just feel like she's looking like frumpy. She doesn't look like she's, I don't know. I feel like it's changed a lot, her look. Yeah. And I don't like that she's not blonde anymore.
I like the dark hair.
I don't.
I like it. It's a very mature.
I don't like it. I liked her blonder, and I just don't like these outfits she's putting on her. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And hashtag bring Jack back.
Of course. In our booth, I know we're gonna wrap up really quickly, but I want to check something. Do we have a caller? Because I think there is a caller. Okay. Hello, caller. You are on AfterBuzz TV with Tony and Mark. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Toronto, Canada.
Hi, all the way from Toronto, Canada. And what's your name?
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. So, Ashley, what did you enjoy about this week on Days? And tell us your thought about it quickly.
I'm a big fan of Eric and Nicole, so I was really enjoying what's going on with that. And I'm really against Daniel and Nicole.
Me too.
I kind of like that there's that little pull between all three of them now.
Yeah. See, I said earlier tonight that I am not, like, I feel like they're trying to push Nicole and Daniel together, and I'm just not for it. Mm-hmm. I'm all for Eric and Nicole. I was really for Nicole and Xander.
I was too.
Before he went cray-cray.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked him until he went crazy, and then it ruined it.
Oh, see?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Ashley. 100%.
Did you by chance go to the SARS Canada event in Toronto?
I did. I went to the one in Toronto, and I just came back from the one in Montreal last weekend.
Oh, nice. And how were those events? Did you enjoy them?
Yes, they were really good. They were good. The Montreal one took Daniel a while. Daniel Cosgrove, he couldn't get across the border, so we were with Eric Birdsall for about 12 hours instead of Daniel and him.
I feel like I saw somewhere where Billy Flynn is coming to Toronto soon, or maybe in October.
I think Niagara Falls.
Yes.
Oh, Niagara Falls.
Flynn
That's what it was.
Later in the fall.
Flynn in the Falls.
Mm-hmm. And if he needs a host, I'd be happy to be there for you, Billy. My husband's a flight attendant. I can fly for free. I will be there for you, Billy.
We all know how you just love some Billy Flynn. Well, Ashley, all the way from Toronto.
My birthday's in December.
Oh, is that like a hint?
That's a hint.
Oh, my God.
A Billy Flynn popping out of a cake? I'm just saying.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much for calling in. I'm getting the signal that we have to wrap up. But thank you so much for dishing days with us. And make sure you tune in every Sunday with us.
I love the show.
Oh, thank you. Tell your friends, because we want more people to love the show, too.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for calling in. Special thanks to Cheryl, Ashley, and Jamel from Brooklyn. Yo. And of course, we're going to have more moments like this where you guys can call in. So don't be afraid. Call in. Daquan, we're looking for you to call in.
He says maybe next time.
Mark, where can they find you?
On Twitter and Instagram at Lorraine Love, LORAYNE and on Facebook /the Mark J. Freeman.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Lounging with Tony, or my website, loungingwithtony.com. This has been Dishin Days on AfterBuzz TV. We'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another full recap of your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.